Hello. I don't know if my internet's going to hold up for a live because I'm currently trying to upload a video to YouTube, a pre-recorded video to YouTube, and my spouse is streaming a podcast, listening to a podcast downstairs while he works. So we shall see. But hello, Kelly Bear here. So yeah, I guess I could have just hi Simon, you're right. Lovely to see you. I could have just pre-recorded another video, but I kind of felt like it was more of a discussion. Also, I was really miffed because, hi Shauna, I had a quick look. Hi Sam, I had a quick look in my studio section of the YouTube, like where you run your channel, the back end of running the channel, which I don't go in too often unless I'm looking for checking comments or just sort of uploading videos. And there were loads of comments from like my birthday live and a couple of other videos that I had not seen, that I had not been notified for. And yet, even quite recently, maybe last week, I had gone into my comments to see if, you know, there were any comments that I had missed other than the ones that I've been notified about with the little bell icon. And there wasn't any. It said, you are up to date. And I was like, oh, brilliant. And yet I go in there today and there are comments from like 3 weeks ago, and yet again YouTube is making me look like a complete dickhole and like I'm ignoring people. I hate it. And sometimes I even like go into the individual videos to check to see the comments. I don't know what is going on. I know other people have had this problem before. I know Kelly and Maddox have spoken about it. A couple of other people have spoken about it, but it's just so confusing. And then because sometimes I wonder, like I don't often get a huge amount of comments under my videos in comparison to the amount of views I sometimes get. And I can't work out if it's just people have gotten really fed up with commenting and then me not replying, and I'm like, but I haven't seen it. So YouTube's not helping with that. And sometimes I'll just leave it a couple of days for a number to build up so then I can like bulk reply, so I'm not constantly like replying. So maybe people but yeah, maybe it's also a bit of that, or maybe just people don't comment on my videos because I seem like I'm a bit overly opinionated and people don't want to comment. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, so if you had commented in the last 3 weeks and I hadn't replied to you, I'm really sorry. I'm not ignoring you. But I had not been notified either by the bell or by the bloody comment section in the studio until I checked today. So it's so frustrating. Why does it do that? Is it some kind of bug or glitch? Anyway, I can see there's a few people coming in. Jenna here. Hello. I saw Sam. I said hi to Sam. Tony. Hello, Tony. Jennifer Rebecca's here. Hello. Alicia Jade's here. Hello. And Nancy Paper Moon Tarot's here. We know you're way too important. No, that's not true. Way too important. Don't be a silly sausage. Not at all. And I don't want people to think that though. Maybe they're like, oh, she just thinks she's too good to reply. That's not true at all. I'm always grateful for people that take the time to watch and comment on my videos. Like, I really appreciate it. I'm always surprised that people even like join in my live chats because I do waffle an awful lot of rubbish a lot of the time, you know, so it's always really lovely to have have people comment. Obviously sometimes you get the odd mean comment, although at the same time I'm like, well, you took the time to watch and then insult me, but okay, whatever you want to do with your time. People are weird. That does make me think, actually. I watched a video this morning whilst I was having breakfast by Meg over at Honey Rose Ritual, and she did a video about I don't know if they did a video about people leaving mean comments, and it was about the way that Meg speaks and using what we would usually call filler words, like for example, or like, I guess is a filler word. Doing it now, and I use filler words all the time, and Meg was talking about how that's really ableist to complain about someone, the way that someone speaks, especially if they seem to be quite slow in the way that they're talking, or struggling to find the right words, which I know I get often quite a lot, because I get brain fog and cognitive dysfunction and things like that. So yeah, because some of us have injuries or disabilities or chronic illnesses which affect our thought processes or our energy limiting, or both. And yeah, so for people to comment, it's like, that's just so fucking rude. Like, if someone doesn't like the way that you doesn't like the way that someone is speaking, just don't watch the video. And Meg said the same thing. And Meg said, like, there's people whose voice really annoys them, for no particular, like, it's just maybe just a misphonia thing. I don't know. Sometimes people's voice might grate on you. And so they don't watch those videos. And there's people that I do enjoy watching, but sometimes I have to be in a particular headspace to be able to watch them, because they speak quite quickly. And I know, unless I'm having a real brain fog day, which is often when I often will not film if I'm having a real brain fog day, because I'm really struggling to find words and I stutter, and I'm using a lot of filler words, or I'm using a lot of the incorrect words to what I mean. So I don't film, right? I don't go live, I don't film, so you don't see the worst of it. So yeah, there's people who I really enjoy who speak quickly, but I will only watch them if I'm feeling like more switched on, and I know I can speak quickly as well. Simon says, let's see, what's that? Someone once left a comment on one of my videos saying that they counted 38 times that I said the word okay. I nearly replied saying, I'm glad that you are paying attention to the content. But you know what I mean? Yes, exactly, Alicia. Medication can affect cognitive function. And I've also said in some of my lives before, I'm on strong painkillers right now. So if I'm slurring, if I'm umming and ahhing a lot, if I'm using the wrong words, if I seem a bit spacey, it's because I've taken painkillers to manage my chronic pain. And sometimes it just wrong words come out, or just a bit slower. My favorite filler words from you, that I think is a bit of a tick, honestly. It's funny, people do pick up on that, but that I don't realize I'm doing that a lot of the time. Jennifer Rebecca says, I love your lives, this is my day. Oh, thank you, that's so kind of you to say. I find I have to check YouTube Studio frequently. Okay, I might have to just check it a bit more often, I think. But yeah, I find it really weird. I remember Tom Benjamin, there was someone that kept commenting under Tom Benjamin's videos, complaining that he said a lot, or didn't like the cadence of his speech. And it's like, what are these people doing? Like, watching these videos and then taking the time to like write mean comments about, like, they're only sort of upsetting themselves. Like, just don't watch. I just find it incredibly weird. Just people, why people? But yeah, I like Simon's comment, that was really good. If you don't like the voice, you can change the speed. Yeah, sometimes that helps. You can slow it down or speed it up if you find that problematic. Sometimes it's to do with the way people's brains processes things. It can also be due to neurodivergence. I've got a pop filter on my microphone, see, and that helps take away the lot of the sort of the sounds that you would get bouncing off of the mic if I didn't have it, because I find, especially, I don't often listen to YouTube with headphones, but if I do, I find that certain noises can irritate me. I don't like the sound of people chewing and things like that misphonia thing. So Roaz, hello, is that right? Roaz or Roaz? Simon, you could also respond with okay. Yeah, that's a good response as well. But yeah, people are strange. So yeah, the title of this video is something along the lines of words of the year, gentleness and consistency, I think. Yeah, words of the year, gentleness and consistency, because I said I'd probably do a video about my words and how I'm sort of coming along. And it's mostly taken the what's the word I'm looking for? See, because I'm quite tired today. It's taken the oh, what's the word I'm looking for? See, I'm struggling now. What's the thing? It's taken the form of just trying to be very conscious of how I'm speaking to myself with regards to gentleness, and just trying to give my body, like sort of on a health front, just what it needs when it needs it, trying to take those rest days when I need to take them, and also just because I've been feeling the need for softness and gentleness and sort of comfort, because I'm feeling very fragile and very just beaten down, I think, by, you know, the whole situation with the pandemic. That gentleness, that feels really, really important. And I've been trying to work incorporated into like how I run my business, how I run the Etsy shop, and you know, the pouch making and the other things that I would like to do, because I was hoping to get the shop restocked at the beginning of this month, but you know, COVID numbers were very high, and vaccination in my area is very low, just overall, even people that have even had one dose, and seeing, you know, people are not very good at wearing masks and things like that. It just made me feel very sort of nervous to sort of start going back to my post office and things like that. But I've sort of I feel like I need to just get back on the horse, because I miss running my shop, basically. So I've tentatively decided that I will be restocking the shop, going live on Sunday the 6th of March at 6 p.m, because I realized that Jen of Jen's Balanced Tarot is doing her like tarot play date take 2 at the time that I would usually restock my shop. So I'm having to, I don't want to sort of mess with that, so I'm having to do my shop. I'll do my restock an hour before, and hopefully that time will still work for people. But it did, you know, this whole idea of gentleness and consistency, it's about being the reason I picked consistency was because I'm having to really contend with the fact that, you know, I have a tendency to be very boom and bust, and I burn myself out. I did it multiple times last year, and it's better for me to do little and often than to just go hard and crash, go hard and crash. It's not, you know, it's how I've worked the last 10 years with doing hair and makeup, and having to really push myself for hours and hours, standing up, working on a shoot or being on a cold set for hours and hours on end. And then just crashing for like days on end, like 2, 3, 4 days, and then not necessarily even being recovered, and then being on a wedding, getting up at 5 a.m. for a wedding, and traveling across London to, you know, getting 3 different buses on a Saturday morning because there's no night train, no night tube yet, you know, it's not opened, or some of the lines that I'm using are not running 24 hours or what have you. So it's just not a consistent or healthy way to work when I live in a body that doesn't want me to doesn't allow me to do those things. So I'm really having to think about how I manage my business and my life generally. And then the gentleness, obviously it's about being kind to myself, but again, that gentleness, that consistency, slow and steady, a little bit, and trying to work out, because before I was doing for Halloween and for Christmas, I was doing drops every week. That's not, I cannot maintain that. That's not something that is maintainable. And I realized that I didn't give enough planning time to get all the stuff done in time to start doing that with regards to sewing all the pouches ahead of time for a bunch of the drops. So I thought, well, I need at least 2 months prep for Halloween and 2 months prep for Christmas rather than 1 month. So that's one thing that I can do. But also I was like, how many times should I be doing drops for my shop? Because I don't want to have my shop open all the time. because I need to minimize how often I am going to the post office for health and safety reasons, but also for managing my own, conserving my own energy, and also for managing my schedule. Because if I've got orders coming in at all sorts of times, I can't really work out when I'm going to the post office, and I have to go to the post office at particular times on particular days to avoid as many people as possible. And that sort of messes with my my plans for the day, my schedules. And I'm one of those people that if my schedule gets changed, like I have a bit of a freak out. I'm realizing that's a neurodivergent thing where a bit of a meltdown. And I'm trying to be flexible, but I also do need some sort of structure. So I thought, well, maybe I could do, you know, last year I was doing like every 2 weeks, opening the shop for every two, putting some fresh stuff in, and then doing that every 2 weeks. But that still felt a little tight and a little exhausting for me when I'm having like flare-ups health-wise. So I was like, once a month feels like too big a gap, you know, between shop drops. And also I need a little bit of a pressure just sort of to push me to do stuff, because it's got to be enough time that I'm able to sew more pouches, but enough time for almost for me to be able to rest if I need to, but also enough time that if I do have that energy and I don't need to rest, I have enough time to, after I've sewn a bunch of pouches, to be able to do other stuff, because I do want to be making other things. And I've spoken about this before, and I've been doing a bunch of playing. Actually, I'll show you something. I'll show you a couple of things that I've been toying with, because I did show some sneak peeks of the double pouches in one of my last lives. But I've been playing with some other stuff, and I realized everything that I've made with my like research and development and my playing around with stuff has it all matches, because I've been using the same sort of 3 or 4 shades of felt, which is really funny. So it's almost like a little mini collection. A couple of the things that I made I did send out for a friend's birthday, so I don't have those to show. But I for ages wanted to make you're not going to, let's change the lighting a little bit, but it's a pouch, and this is a trimmed low Scarabaeo sized pouch, and it is made with plastic, recycled plastic, fused with the little like die cut hearts, and there's like little sequins stuck sandwiched in between, and then a layer of felt, so that it's still a double layer pouch with the little heart. And yeah, so it's got the white felt backing it, and I've hand stitched it, but it's made again from recycled materials, and like all the hearts are cut from like scraps of fabric from making pouches. So yeah, this is one of the things I wanted to do for a while. I also made for a friend, I made like a little folio, but just clear without the felt behind it, so it was like a clear pouch, which was really fun. So yeah, I've been playing with some stuff. So I've got my happy tarot in there, but yeah. The light, obviously you can't really see from those, so that was one of the things that I did. What else did I do? A bunch of it's been sent out. I've been working with like magical jewelry, like beaded, hand embroidered jewelry. This is very large because I'm about as subtle as a brick when it comes to the things that I tend to wear. But it's got like a ribbon. I haven't decided on the fastening yet, but it's like beaded, and it's all made from, you can't really see, but it's got a little pocket in the back, and that's for, you could put a sigil or a mantra or a prayer or a talisman, or anything, a tiny little poppet, a gemstone. So I've got all ideas for jewelry, so many ideas for jewelry. This is a large one. I'll probably do small little pouches that you can like tuck in, but the idea is that it's wearable magical jewelry. So you saw it here first, folks. And then today I had my hair up in space buns earlier, and you'll see in the video that goes up tomorrow that I'd filmed today, an unboxing video. And after I'd finished filming the video, I really wanted to make some like little pom-pom head like things to go over my space buns with like pom-poms on, and I cut out a piece of like elastic. It's not very stretchy, that's the problem. And it was too tight to go over. I stitched the ring closed, and it was too tight to go over the space bun. So I was like, I just chucked it on my wrist, and I was like, well, actually that's quite a good size. So I ended up taking again some of those die cut hearts and stitching them onto with some, and then it looked a bit plain, so I put some more sequins and little bugle beads and seed beads. So I made a little little bracelet type thing for myself. So, and this is the thing, when I really struggled to do research and development in January. I did a little bit, but not as much as I'd liked, and I realized it was because I was worried about everything being perfect and having to be for the shop, when instead what I needed to do was just follow my like creative bliss and just create because I wanted to create. And actually, now that I've been doing that on and off the last couple of weeks, I've been making loads of stuff, and some of it will be great for the shop and some of it won't be, and some of it will just be stuff for myself or for friends or for family. But I still have so many ideas bubbling out of me now, so it was just like uncorking that. But again, I have to be really careful not to get carried away and spend like 5 days where I'm sewing and making like all day and into the night, and then not getting much sleep because I'm so excited, and then burning myself out. So it's like trying to ride that like creative inspiration but not get carried away by it. Oh, look at me with my surf references. So yeah, so there's ideas percolating. I've got ideas for, you could have like a little choker with like a little thing. That I've had ideas for like those little aromatherapy pendants and all sorts of things. So let's have a look at the chat, because I realized I'm missing a lot of it. You shouldn't even have to explain yourself, says Tony. Is that regards to the way that people speak or problems they have with finding the words? Yeah, I mean, I know what people, yeah, it's like people are criticizing something that's there for free, just free information. I mean, I don't know how much I don't know how I wouldn't really compare myself to Tom, because he actually gives really useful like lessons and instructional videos and provides resources. He's very much, I view him very much as that sort of teacher in the community. I'm not a teacher. I'm simply someone that wanted to get involved with the community, but just be one of the voices. I don't see myself as someone who is there to, I'm just here to share my thoughts. I'm not here to teach or give out any knowledge or wisdom. I'm here to just learn. You know what I mean? Oh, Jenna says, this is the first year I've not chosen a word of the year. I'm free flowing this year. Yeah, good for you. Shauna, I feel you, Kelly. I've had half a video filmed for a month, trying to breathe through the anxiety of having it hang over me. That's the thing, right, with the anxiety. And then, like, because I realized I hadn't gone live for a couple of weeks. I hadn't put up a pre-filmed video for 3 weeks because I've been doing other stuff, right? I've been doing either tarot study or I've been making. And I find I struggle to like do multiple things throughout the week. I sort of get into these like hyper focused little areas. So like I'm mostly sewing this week, and then it'll be like, oh, I've had 3 days of intense tarot study. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like, and then there's that anxiety as well that comes with feeling like, oh, well, I've been sewing, that's all well and good, but I haven't made a video for ages. Whereas 3-4 weeks ago, I was full of video ideas and I was putting like more pre-recorded stuff out. Like, I just have to, and that's the thing again with taking it back to the theme of the video, that gentleness and consistency. Yes, to a point, being consistent and doing that little and often, but at the same time that gentleness comes in when I have recognized that pattern within myself where I will focus on one or two things and other stuff will get left behind, and eventually that I'll get bored of those things and I'll go back to what I was doing before. And I just have to, now that I've recognized that in myself, I just have to be kind to myself about that. I'm not going to force I don't want to force anything, because that just brings more anxiety, and with the anxiety triggers flare-ups, and with flare-ups means I can't really do anything other than just sort of lay in bed and be bored and in pain, and that's no fun. So Paper Moon Tarot, yeah, WTF indeed. I remember well when you used to do makeup jobs and you had to psych yourself up for the days and then it wiped you out for days afterwards. Exactly. I only worked part-time because I had to really manage, rest days and then having time afterwards. And then sometimes I'd be like, well, I've got a Friday, Saturday and Sunday in a row, but I haven't had any other work for a couple of weeks. I need to take these jobs, but I know it's going to absolutely do me in. I can't live my life like that. I just have to realize my body cannot manage that, and I have to be kind to myself. It's just the hand that there's no changing it. It's just, it is what it is. And it's trying to find my own way of doing things in an ableist capitalist society that doesn't value people that create a lot of the time, people that create either are underpaid. I mean, I undercharge for my work, which is another thing. I will be putting my prices up because there are people that are making things that are, that they could probably make 3 or 4, maybe more of what they're making in the time that it takes for me to make one, and they're charging the same price as my one. And I'm like, wow, well, people are happy to pay for something that's, more quickly, not super, like that's not hand sewn, like, something. My items that I sell are 100% handmade. There is no machine sewing. That might change when I come to some of the experimental stuff I'll be doing, but it will be machine sewing with regards to maybe quilting or applique. And then so it's creating my own decorative fabric, which is adding in more work, right? Because I'm not just taking plain pieces of felt. I'm taking fabrics, I'm taking scraps and dissolvable, that sort of, what's it called? Dissolvey or Solvey or whatever it's called. I've got a bunch of it over in the corner there. Dissolvable sort of starch fabric, and it's stuff I used to do stuff I did for my textiles courses, and in my fashion courses I did making fabrics and quilting, and it's very much where I came from, and it's been really fun playing around with that and going back to my roots basically, and I think, oh, I'm no good at what I do, or what I do is really boring, or it's just really plain, I don't know, and then, or I'm not qualified, and then I think, hang on, I am qualified. I have 25 years of garment textile work and art and design and fashion design and pattern cutting and hair and makeup and styling and all sorts under my belt. I've got, when I think of I don't know, I need to not sell myself short. That's a lot of experience, and that's without all of the research I've done in my own time with regards to historical clothing and design, and all the exhibitions I've been to over the years, and all of the books that I've read, and all of the courses I've gone on in my own time. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Hello, Butterfly Magic with hot tea. Lovely to see you. Maybe you should state you only ship out once a month and cut down your post office visits. Well, this is a thing, Nancy. I'm thinking what I'm going to do. I think I got distracted, didn't I, for a change? Squirrel. I think what I'm going to be doing is, I've decided that 3 weeks, although I can't say, oh, it'll be the first Saturday of the month or the last, or every other weekend. I think 3 weeks, 3 is the magic number. It's one of my favorite numbers. So I think 3 weeks between drops, I'm going to try it, because I have to work out a sustainable way for me to run my business that works for both my customers, but also for me, because if it's not sustainable, I can't get stuff out, and people are not going to get stuff, are they? So it's like a give and take. Yeah, so we'll see. Sometimes the trolls help me see how wonderful this little community is. I am slightly autistic in your videos. Simon and Kelly, among other lovely tarot channels, have been, oh, that's so lovely for you to say. Oh, what a lovely compliment. Thank you. Yes, we celebrate neurodivergence here. So, show and tell, says Alicia. Wet the old whistle. Very cool necklace. Thank you. Yeah, it's really, it's I still haven't decided on how I'm gonna like fasten it, because I made double a chiffon and a satin ribbon, and then I put the little things on to, you know, when you trap the ribbon in between, and I was going to fasten it, but it's really, I made it really long, and I don't like really, like, hangs right down below, like onto my solar plexus, and I'm like, I'd rather it sort of be here. So I don't know if I'm going to trim the ribbon and put new like little clasps on, or if I'm going to put little danglies on the clasps and just tie it as like with a bow or a little knot instead, and then I can adjust where I want the length of it to be depending on what I'm wearing. I do need to make like a full-on hardcore goth version of something like this though, because, you know, I love me some schwarz. Let's see, super cute bracelet. I just like all of your stuff though. Oh, thank you, Sean. That's very sweet. Just have them as an exclusive in the shop. What was that? The little jewelry things. Yeah, because I wouldn't do customs pieces for them. It would just be because I want to be able to. I don't want to feel like, I feel like they're the kind of thing I have to make when I'm in the mood. When the mood strikes me and I have that like impetus, that inspiration to do it. But yeah, there's a lot. I have so many ideas. It's just having the time and the energy and the knowledge and the money to be able to invest in to do them. But there's so many ideas I have. That's okay. I know, and I apologize that I speak so quickly, Roaz. Am I saying your handle correctly? The anxiety paralysis to go live and do readings is horrendous. It's been a year, I think, for me. Oh, Tony, that's the thing. We put so much pressure on ourselves. Again, gentleness. I urge you all to be gentle with yourself. So talking about, actually, I'm just going to make sure I'm up to date, and then I'll go on about gentleness and consistency. Book a bunch of your friends to be in the chat. Yeah, do that, Tony. Give us a heads up. If it's quality made, I'll fork out the money. Absolutely. Oh, bless you, Jen. All these teasers coming out. I don't know what stuff will end up being in the shop and what won't, but I love making the pouches, but there's so much more I have in me. And like I said, my shop was opened as like just a general sort of creative playground or creative laboratory for me to sell my stuff. And I was selling like hair accessories and all sorts of bits and bobs, shoe clips, all sorts of weird hand sewn things, earrings. And then, you know, then people were like, you should make those pouches like for people to buy. And I was like, okay, people seem to want them. It's interesting though, because people kept saying, as I was doing the drops more regularly, people were going, oh, your pouches sell out so quickly. But actually, towards the end of the year, there would be like sometimes 24, 48, 72 hours, and there would still be the odd pouch in there. Sometimes, you know, there'd be 48 hours and there'd still be like 3 or 4 pouches left. So they don't sell as quickly as they used to. I think it was just because I'd had a whole year break during the the first year of the pandemic. So people were like chomping at the bit for them. And so now, you know, now that they're sort of coming, I've had a bit of a break, obviously, but now I hope that they'll be coming more regularly. There will be more in there. People won't have to panic stations to buy them. Yeah, I did think of a slider knot at Tony, but I think because of the way that I've used these double ribbons, I don't know how well it will work, and then how the ribbons will sit with each other because of the way that they're layered. I'll figure something out, because I probably won't sell this. I don't usually sell like prototypes. It's sort of, you know, and I like to keep the first of a thing that I've made. Although I did send out a couple of the things that I made to a friend this week. Regina, hello. I want a glasses necklace. Yeah, I don't think I'd do like beading for stuff like that. It's not really something that I'd be into doing because I'm not really massively into beading, as in like just classic beading. But I do want to have a go at using some of my scraps to make beads. But yeah, so gentleness. Speaking of gentleness, again, so I've been using very soft, let's get to decks, using very soft, gentle, squishy decks. And I did pull out, I think one of my previous lives, I pulled out it from my box of my case of decks, the decks that I wanted to use throughout this year, including there was another, 10 decks that I wanted to work with in 2022, which is things that I want to work with throughout the year and do deep dives with. But then there's this box of decks here, my case of decks. This is all the like squishy, lovely, comfy, soft decks. So I've got my Tower of the Magical Forest. This was the deck that I used for January for my week ahead readings. And I also use this for part of my year ahead birthday reading. I keep meaning to sort of do a video maybe about my year ahead reading that I did, which was I didn't do it at New Year's. I did it on my birthday. It was like and it was a spread that I designed myself by sort of Frankensteining a number of different spreads together and changing a few things. And I think I used like 5 or 6 different decks to do the spread. It took up like my whole the whole of the spread cloth that Simon had got me a few years ago, which was a pretty big spread cloth. But as other people might find it useful, and it's a reading that I will sit with throughout the whole year. And I've got like the Weaver's Oracle. I pulled a Weaver for each quarter of the year, and she was the one that I've got this year. This season is Ridge. She Cuts Ice Witch. She's up on my I keep looking over there because that's where my altar is. She's up on my altar, so she's constantly in my mind, and like I've been reading through her section in the Weaver's Oracle guidebook, and then I've got a photo of the spread that I did for the year. I don't know if I showed this in my last chat. I don't know if I'm going over, but this was the sort of the spread that I designed. And that's just the what each is, and then I took a picture of it, so it's quite big. Can you see? Woo! Really hard to show things on. So yeah, I don't know if I should do or maybe I could do an Instagram post about how, I don't know, but because it's so complex, I feel like an Instagram post would be, it wouldn't be the right medium to sort of get it across. But yeah, and I even pulled a rune. That little orange thing there is a rune that I pulled. I got Fehu for 2022, which is a pretty nice rune to get. And a friend of mine sent me a bind rune, a Fehu bind rune design that I'm going to use for the next lunar cycle. You are responsible for anyone in the community that has this deck. What, this magical forest? Oh, really? Do you think? I don't know about everyone. Yes, perfectly, okay, thank you. I can so relate to having an on and off days, and yes to gentleness and consistency even when it's hard. So yeah, so the little decks that I've been using, so the magical forest, the empty cup oracle by Stacia Barrington, who also made the Sasarai Beto tarot, which is another deck that's in here. I've pulled out the Circo tarot. I've got the Next World, the Numinous, obviously. And then I've also got the Animal Wisdom Tarot, the Tarot of the Moon Garden. The Oracle is so amazing. What the weave is, isn't it, Tony? It's amazing. So I've got this one out. Oh my God. And what I've been doing, I've been really inspired by Dawn Michelle over at Boho Tarot, when she's been doing, like pairing the oracles with the tarot. So I've been really, really into doing that with the 3 card, with mainly with the oracle as the central card. But I always pull an oracle card with my week ahead spread. I usually, this year so far, I've been using, rather than doing freestyle week ahead, I've been doing the Enchanted week ahead spread by Holly Enchanted, which is a spread that I've used on and off since I found it. I can't remember when I came across that spread, but I've been using it on and off. But I've been using it consistently every week this year, which has been really nice to have some consistency. But yes, I'm showing you just some of the soft decks that I've been using. I've currently got out the Oak, Ash and Thorn. That's the one that I'm using for February, and really enjoying that. And the Earthbound Oracle. Although I don't know if the Earthbound Oracle was the best choice, because the card that I got last week was what was it? Disaster or failure or something, and it had like a moth on fire or a butterfly on fire, and I was like, and this is the card that I pull alongside my week ahead reading, and I call it the encouragement and or support card. So I was like, oh right, okay, it's a bit intense and not a great sign. So, but all that is to say, one of my Playful Heart Tarot arrived, which is the deck that I was hoping to get with some of my Christmas and birthday money, and it arrived really quickly. It arrived within 9 days, and I filmed an unboxing. It's currently uploading and processing to my channel. It'll go live 6 p.m. tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time tomorrow. It's a really long video because I show the cards, but I also show some of the other things that I've bought from. So I bought from the artist. I also bought some of her clear stamps that she's created to go with her deck, and I read a little bit from the guidebook, which I also ordered. And I realized when I opened the package, I hadn't realized when I finished filming, I'd forgotten that I'd seen stickers inside the package, and then I looked back in the glassine bag and there were stickers, so I forgot to show those. But yeah, it's a really fun deck. It's really lovely. It doesn't shy away from the darker stuff, which I think is really important, for even though it's like a soft deck. So I've got that for like inner child work. And then I also bought a little notebook to satisfy 8-year-old Kelly. So if you want to see that, you're going to have to see that at the video tomorrow. Spoilers. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying just going with the creative flow, being really gentle, trying to be kind to myself, and every time I find myself shit talking myself, then I have to sort of, rather than going, oh don't do that, and like telling myself off for telling myself off, I have to be like, you know, I'm getting better at it. But yeah, I also bought the Therapets to go with the Playful Heart Tarot. It's an affirmation deck, so it's 64 emotional support animals. So yeah, I think these two are going to work really nicely together with the notebook that I've got. I'm just looking forward to playing with them, and just being kind to myself. I'm still too anxious about modding. What's that? Oh, what, do you have the magical forest and you don't want to mod it, Jenna? Oh, someone's saying to close your ears because of it's the moths talk. I think it was actually a butterfly, Simon, so don't worry. Oh no, Jennifer, Rebecca said that's why I'm the reason that she bought the magical forest. Oops. And it never ceases to amaze me how different mine looks with the borders on it, right? Like the borders just don't do it any justice at all. What I find really frustrating is that the Happy Tarot came out only a few years ago, and that's already had a second printing where they've taken the multiple borders off, and they've done the modern borders that Lo Scarabeo does, where they have a little thing at the top and a little thing at the bottom with a symbol and a number. Because I got the first edition, the first printing of the Happy Tarot, and it had all the multiple languages, and so I just completely trimmed it. It's the same size as my magical forest, but again, because it's a straight up Smith-Waite sort of copycat, sort of in a cute style, clone I should say, not copycat, I don't need the titles on there because it's just really easy to tell which card is which is great. But yeah, I'm like, why hasn't the magical forest been given the new like Lo Scarabeo treatment? Because I'd love to see what they do with like the little symbols at the top and you know, I don't know. But it does look great with the all the borders gone. It just really sings because it's such a soft deck, and I really do think it benefits from having like the largest corner rounder you can get, like a good centimetre corner rounder, to really sort of add to that softness. It's a really nice size in the hands once it's trimmed. It's just like it just suits the cuteness and the softness of it. So do share the spread, says Tony. Okay, I'll see what I can do, because I'll have to lay the spread out again, get all the cards out from all the decks, lay the spread out, and I think I'll have to film it on my selfie stick on my phone, because I'll have to sort of scan over the spread. I won't be able to sort of static film it. I don't think it was. I think that was what was putting me off, like the logistics of trying to film that. But it's basically I currently have my my week ahead spread, which is only 4 cards, and then the oracle card laid out on my tarot trolley, on my little altar, my little trolley altar, so that I can see that throughout the week, and sort of going back to that. And then basically whenever I remember, essentially, I'm going back to my year ahead reading and just sort of having a look through that, and yeah, looking at the cards. And it's just something I will sit with for a whole year. So I tried to resist the urge to sort of deep dive with it immediately. I just want to enjoy it, graze upon the reading throughout the year. Tarot grazing, like a tarot cow. So yeah, my first ever modded deck was modded by Kelly. It was. I remember you sent it to me. You sent it me, and I trimmed and edged it, and I sent it back with a pouch for you, didn't I? And I just sort of, when I see how badly that pouch is sewn now, because I wasn't making them to sell at that point. I was just making them for friends, just for whatever, and for myself. And now, like, you know, because I was always more of a machine sewer, I really used to like not enjoy hand sewing, but doing the pouches has really got me to enjoy hand sewing. So I've gotten a lot better at it, that's for sure. The practice has helped. I had a judgment from Wild Unknown Tuesday. Holy moly, wasn't I just? What was that? The judgment card. I can't remember what the judgment card looks like in the Wild Unknown. Jamie's popped in. Hello, Jamie. You all right, my love? Playful Heart is one of your favourites. Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to get stuck in with it. I'm going to read the book first, because I think I might do like tarot bound with it, the tarot bound thing, but not be too formal about it, because I've got to remember, I'm trying to imagine it's like 8 or 10-year-old me, and I'm just sort of, you know. Yeah, the book, it doesn't have any pictures in it. It is like just text, but it's short enough to be able to sort of sit down and read in one sitting, I think, or 2 sittings at the most. Are you sure you're goth, says Simon? What, because of all the pink stuff? Hey, I know my alien sex fiend from my Bauhaus to my Sisters of Mercy to my Susie Sue. Yes. I think you get the deck. Have you done a walkthrough of Therapets? No, I haven't. I show a few cards in the video that I've got going up tomorrow, Jenna. If you would like to see a walkthrough, I can do it. But I do know that Alison Bright, Determined to Shine, she's definitely done a walkthrough of the Therapets. So if you want to see a good walkthrough and a really sort of cheerful, fun, colourful walkthrough, and her video production is really, really good. So I know that I can send you over there. She's definitely got one up already if you want to see all the cards. You have the second printing of the Happy Tarot, and it's got the new borders, right? Such a beautiful deck. And as you've mentioned before, the strength card is just, oh, it just melts my heart. The Hermit, little Hermie, as me and Simon call him, Hermie. Oh, Hermie. I just hear it in like Miss Piggy's voice, as though she's saying Kermie, but it's Hermie. Oh, Hermie. You are the reason I own a Dirty Pam and not a Rider. Oh, I am. That'll be my legacy, the Dirty Pam nickname. I do sometimes see people going, why are people calling it the Dirty Pam? And I'm like, well, if you know, you know, but if you don't, you don't, I guess. But that'll be my my gift to the tarot world: pouches and the Dirty Pam nickname, and the obsession with the Tower of the Magical Forest. Goth with anxiety, it's a thing. Need the gentle cards periodically, right? It is a thing. This is the thing. I always joke, and have said this before, I'm a rainbow goth. All black and spikes on the outside, but inside I am rainbows and unicorns and fairies and cupcakes and rusty nails and eyeballs as well. But like I'm always taping things to my selfie stick and taping my selfie stick to things for my camera setups. It works pretty well. Yeah. I'm always worried that stuff's just going to fall and break. The drawback is I'm also freaking broke. Well, there you go. It's just, I don't know how to say. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Well, Dirty Pam is a Rider-Waite Smith, but not like a classic. It's like a recoloration, isn't it, Simon? Is the hey Grin, hello, lovely to see you. Is the Dirty Pam the Rider-Waite Smith, Pamela and Coleman Smith? Radiant Wise Spirit, I think, yeah, it is kind of, but they changed the cardstock or something, I think. I feel a bit nauseous. Care Bear Goth is a thing, yeah, right? That's the thing. Care Bear Goth. It's totally a thing. I have several Care Bear Goth friends, or Perky Goth is the other one that gets bandied about. Perky Goth as a genre of goth. So I just done a great video on it in the 1907. Cool. So yeah. I'm going to wrap up shortly because it's coming up for 6:30. I'm going to start making dinner. I'm going to make a nice quick and easy curry, cheating because I've got some roti, so I don't have to cook any rice or anything, and like just a vegan curry sauce to use. So that's going to be nice, and like a big bag of spinach and some chickpeas. Just chuck it all quick and easy. Yum yum yum. I thought rainbow goth were a thing. Yeah, exactly, they are a thing. Oh, were your ears burning, Meg? Because I was talking about your video earlier about people being rude and leaving mean comments. Health goth is like sportswear, like workout gear, but make it goth. So that's like a whole other movement. I have friends who are goths, and when they go to the gym, it's like pure, like all black, like hashtag like health goth. It's a bit of an in joke, I think, from a lot of but yeah, I was talking about your video and about how people are rude and ableist, and yeah, just you know, and I know you said you didn't feel like you owed anyone an explanation, but I was just sort of just reiterating, like, you know, we don't owe anyone an explanation. It's just so wild. I was just saying, I think it is so wild that people will watch something that they actively dislike and then they take the time to comment. Health goth, rainbow goth. My goal is to not be labeled with the name of a group. Yeah, you know, like subcultures, though. Subcultures, the thing with the goth subculture is it's a place for misfits, and it's basically something that arose from the music. It came out of the punk scene and it evolved, and then there from goth you sort of evolved. There became sort of more new romantics and the sort of electro wave and dark wave and that kind of thing. So it sort of stems from the music and the club scene. You know, back in the late 90s, early noughties, I went to a lot of goth clubs, even into the teens, I guess. You know, Slimelight at the Borderline, Electro Works, the Camden Electric Ballroom, Full Tilt at the Electric Ballroom, the Underworld at the World's End, like all sorts of stuff. It was great. Jennifer Rebecca's an old punker. Yeah, own it, right? And like the health goth, and it's just a jokey thing that goths have within themselves. That, like, what kind of goth are you? A bit like, what kind of witch are you, right? Are you a cottage witch? Are you a hearth witch? Are you a green witch? A hedge witch? Are you know what I mean? It's just that kind of thing. Are you a crystal witch? It's just some people need labels or want labels. You know, I choose certain labels because they empower me. and they help me find fellow people. So I'm a tarot reader. That's a group, right? By searching tarot, I found the tarot community online. I'm clinically vulnerable and chronically ill, and I follow a lot of disabled Twitter and chronically ill Twitter. I've been able to find community there, and in turn find support and help and advice, right? Non neurodivergent Twitter. I follow a lot of fellow queer folks on Twitter. It helps people find community. Labels could be very, very useful. Anyway, I'm getting very distracted. Definitely have health girlfriends too. Yeah. But yeah, so I think, I don't know if I really sort of achieved the aim of, I don't know, I was just had some thoughts, and I was just talking them through about, like, yeah, gentleness and consistency and what that means, and how that's going to sort of affect how I run the shop and this channel and just my life. And yeah, I don't know, watch this space. There'll probably be updates, and tying that in with my tarot practice as well, right? Because I was really beating myself up about this channel and my tarot practice, and maybe I'm not doing enough, or I'm not making enough videos, or I'm not, and as soon as I've just sort of just taken the foot off the brake and just given myself that space and that permission, I've see, it's helpful to find community. It's the desire and the inspiration has flooded in. It's filled that space that I was putting, all that pressure and anxiety I had has been filled with a more positive thing, because I'm being gentle. So we will see. Got to go rest the brain. You take care, Tony. Lovely to have you in. But yeah, I'm going to go make some dinner. But yeah, watch out for 6 o'clock tomorrow UK time. I'll have the walkthrough of the Kitten Chops Playful Heart Tarot, as well as all the little extras that I've bought from the well, it was only one extra, and the there's a little look at the Therapets and the little notebook and other bits that I've bought. And yeah, tentatively Sunday, March 6th, 6 p.m. for a shop drop. So we will see how it goes. We're always so happy when you are here making content, doing love. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just want to be more consistent. That consistency also applies to my shop, but it's trying to find a way to do that living in a chronically ill body. It's just, I've just got to do what works for me, because otherwise it's not going to be consistent. It's not going to be consistent. It's not going to be it's not going to be something I can maintain, and I have to learn to be able to maintain it. I was just looking through my Playful Heart Tarot. It's so lovely, isn't it? It's just joy in a deck, but it doesn't shy away from like the darker, more gnarly feelings and emotions, and I really like that. I appreciate that. I feel like it hasn't defanged the tarot, and I think that's important. So yeah, lovely to oh, hang on, what's that? I felt somewhere about making videos, always pressure put on the bakes, or the breaks, I think that is, right? But putting on the bakes would be good. Putting on those, baking some muffins or some cookies, I don't know. Yum. Making myself hungry. The moon card, yeah. The Hierophant, I don't usually like the Hierophant card, but the Hierophant card in the Playful Heart is just, oh, I love it. But yeah, lovely to see you all, and thank you for joining me. And yeah, I don't know when my next live will be. You know me, I just sort of, so I'm getting a bit of dizziness. I don't know when my next live will be. I tend to just go with how I'm feeling. So yeah, I will I'll just see you when I see you. But yeah, I'll have the pre-recorded one up tomorrow. But I hope that you have a lovely rest of day, whatever you're doing. If you're working, I hope it goes swiftly and pain-free for you. And if you're towards the end of the day, I hope you have a lovely evening and you enjoy some tasty food. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Ciao.